without really damaging their economy. And it's just this crazy year, Paul, where we've had the financialization of commodities and markets and the currency itself, like nothing I think any of us have ever seen in our career.
Yeah, and it ties in a little bit with some news we've had over the last couple of weeks about the group of 7 nations to trying to hammer out a complicated mechanism to cap the price of Russian oil in a bid to tighten the screws on Russia. And, I guess one of the responses could be a retaliatory response on the part of Russia here. But what I've been told by the experts is this price cap thing is really complicated.
Well, and I was going to say, anytime there's ever been an effort to cap the prices of anything anywhere in history, it doesn't really tend to turn out too well usually. So it's a tricky endeavor for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting, but we'll have to watch. I mean, looking at WTI crude oil up 2.5% today to $108. That's well off the 120 plus we had, but we were down closer to 100 just recently, so it continues to bounce around here. You got to remember, oil's a commodity, so you have to have a supply call and a demand call. And right now we've got, increasing demand on what appears to be pretty fixed supply. We'll keep an eye on it. This is Bloomberg. Check out our Business Week weekend show on this week's cover story about a banker's son who looted a nation in an art crime for the ages. Plus Nobel laureate economist Paul Krugman. That's Bloomberg Business Week Saturday at 8 a.m. on Bloomberg Radio.
This Independence Day, the Boston Pops Fireworks Spectacular is back in Boston. Presented by Bloomberg and Eaton Vance. Join conductor Keith Lockhart with special appearances by Shaka Khan, Javier Colon, and Heather Henry. Watch and listen Monday, July 4th, starting at 8 p.m. exclusively on Bloomberg Television, Bloomberg.com, Bloomberg Quick Take, and right here on Bloomberg 1130.
How many of you have pets? My hand's raised. Now think about how lucky you are to have such a sweet little pet in your life, and that pet is lucky to have you too. But unfortunately, there are countless pets out there that don't have a home to call their own. However, Bob's from Skechers is trying to change that. So we developed Bob's for dogs and cats to help pets in need. With every purchase of adorable Bob's footwear or fun, stylish apparel, or even the cutest Bob's pet accessories, Skechers makes a donation to Petco Love to help save shelter pets. And with your help, we've already saved the lives of over 1 million pets and donated over $7 million. So while you're getting style and comfort with features like Skechers' famous memory foam cushioning, you're also helping to save an adorable pet in need and helping another lucky owner be connected with a future best friend and companion. Because happiness is having a loving pet by your side. Find Bob's at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, select Petco locations, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 squat bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept. And to help you get almost 30 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. Don't miss our 4th of July special. The Clean Sleep Number 360 C2 squat bed is only $8.99. Plus free home delivery from Glen and Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
It is 4:15 on Wall Street. Time to drive time traffic. We do it every 15 minutes. Adam Walsky, how is the mighty New York Turnpike, the New Jersey Turnpike looking?
It's in pretty rough shape, Paul. A lot of folks trying to get south. So we'll begin on the Western Spur. Delays southbound from 16W down into the Mixing Bowl. The Eastern Spur, no better. And then you're slowing the car and the truck lanes between 14 and 13. Delays continue in the car lanes down to exit 12. And if you're trying to get down the shore, so are a lot of people. On the Garden State Parkway, those delays around exit 145 southbound with an accident. Then southbound local and express lanes are slow between 118 and 105. And more delays between exits 98 and 82. And the Bloomberg 1130 three-day forecast. Chance of a late-night shower or a thunderstorm tonight with a low 70 to 75. Scattered showers and strong thunderstorms tomorrow, high 85 to 90. And Sunday, partly sunny, chance of a shower or a thunderstorm, high 80 to 85. This update sponsored by Audible. Take Audible along this summer and listen to best-selling audiobooks, exclusive originals, and podcasts. Start with a free 30-day trial at audible.com. 90 degrees. degrees, hazy sunshine in New York, and with the best ride in and out of the city, I'm Adam Walsky. This is Bloomberg 1130.
Markets, headlines, and breaking news 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com, the Bloomberg Business app, and at Bloomberg Quick Take. This is the Bloomberg Business Flash. From Bloomberg World Headquarters, I'm Charlie Pellet. Sources tell Bloomberg Toronto Dominion Bank, the Canadian bank that has been expanding through acquisitions, is weighing a deal for the brokerage firm A rally on Wall Street today, light volume, but the Dow, the S&P, and NASDAQ all rocketed higher ahead of the 4th of July holiday, with the S&P up 40 points today, a gain of 1.1%. The Dow up 321, up 1%. NASDAQ rallied 99, up today by 0.9%. Treasury surged after an ugly first half. The 10-year yield 2.88%. Spot gold little changed, up 40 cents the ounce to 18.07, up less than 0.1%. West Texas Intermediate crude oil up 2.5%, 108.36 a barrel. I'm Charlie Pellet, and that is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
All right, Charlie, thank you so much for that business flash. We appreciate it. All right, what do supply chain crisis and quantum computing have in common? We're going to find out. I have no idea. But fortunately, our next guest does, and I know what questions to ask. All right, Robert Lasowski, Chairman, CEO of Quantum Computing, joins us on the Zoom from Leesburg, Virginia. Robert, how can first of all, define for us quantum computing, and then number two, how can it help with our supply chain crisis, which is a global crisis?
Well, guys, thanks for I hope you're having a great afternoon, holiday weekend. Great topic. I think the easiest answer about what is quantum computing is that it's an exponentially much more powerful computationally way of looking at really complex problems. I can get into the physics of it, right? Classic computers look at ones and zeros. Quantum computers look at ones and zeros and a zero and a one at the same time. You can get into all that stuff, right? But I think at the end of the day, for the average business user, people need to know that we can do really, really complex types of computations, dealing with supply chain, dealing with all sorts of variables in ways that classical computers can't even begin to achieve.
Yeah, so, Robert, your company, Quantum Computing Inc., QUBT is the ticker symbol. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the products you're offering or have in development? I know a lot has to do with stuff like security support and that sort of thing. Can you walk us through some of your main offerings and what we should need to know about them?
Sure. So we started off as a software company. We're a platform that was designed to allow business users, or any user for that matter, to connect up to a quantum computer. Quantum computers don't have the same programming language that classical computers do, right? You can't take what you've done on a Windows machine or an IBM 360 or whatever the machines are out there, and then be able to do that on a quantum computer. They need different programming techniques, right? They're very complex systems. You need quantum programmers to be able to do these things. So we created a platform that would allow a business user to formulate a problem that could run on not just one quantum computer, but any number of quantum computers, Rigetti, D-Wave, IonQ, etc. And that way we took the heavy lifting out of the equation and allowed people to be able to do things today. The challenge is quantum computing as a domain, as a computer itself, hasn't quite achieved the level of capability that we need it to. Right? It's a process. It's an evolutionary process that says, hey, we can do great things today, but we're going to really do great things, better things tomorrow, because quantum computers are going to be much more capable in a few years than they are today. Classical computers can do things that quantum computers can do right now, and computational problems that they can really get good results for. But over time, quantum computers are going to continue to evolve into really, really capable machines. So we looked at a way that we could bring business users to those machines, get them ready to be quantum ready as machines are coming online, solve certain problems dealing with supply chain and other optimization problems. However, just recently, and this is really exciting for us, we just acquired a company, a photonic computing company called QPhoton, which actually uses photonics, a different way to look at a way of computing quantumly. And we can actually solve some problems today that are actually business problems, business-related problems. So there's a way to apply quantum computing in techniques today that quantum computing can actually solve. And we have a computer that can do that. So what's really interesting is that we have become a full-stack quantum computing company. We're no longer just a software company. Q-Photon is no longer just a hardware company. Together, combining these two companies, we can do an end-to-end approach toward providing solutions to real-world problems.
Yeah, Robert, I was going to ask you about that whole notion of the full stack. You know, so much of what we've talked about this year has been the semiconductor market. You know, who's able to source the chips they need, who's not, where the shortages are. I'm guessing in your line of work, you need access to the best, fastest chips available. Is this whole supply chain issues with the chips themselves thrown you any curveballs? Is it a problem at all?
No, it hasn't been. I mean, first off, we're not producing computers at scale yet. We're just producing a couple and 3 of them at a time. So for us, supply chain issues haven't really manifested themselves in terms of the scale that, most supply chains are seeing that. Secondly, the chips that we're manufacturing, and we are manufacturing chips, are much different than what you see in the microchip industry. So ours are very specialized, very unique types of materials that go into creating the photonics that are required for our quantum computing. So we haven't bumped into that. Now, in the future, perhaps, but I think we've got, our plans and scaling help us kind of mitigate that kind of risk. But to your point, a lot of the computer industry is suffering from those microcircuits and microchips types of supply chain issues, and they will be for the foreseeable future. We, on the other hand, we're not going to be bumping into that. And you really can't compare the two. The quantum computer is going to be able to do things that many classical computers couldn't do tied together. One quantum computer is going to be able to achieve computational superiority that those classical computers can't do. So supply chain issues won't be as impactful to the quantum industry as they are in the classical industry.
All right, Robert, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate getting your thoughts there on a fascinating kind of new technology, certainly to Luddites like me. But Robert Laskowski, Chairman and CEO of Quantum Computing. It is a publicly traded company. The ticker you can put into your Bloomberg terminal, QUBT. He joined us from Leesburg, Virginia, via Zoom. So quantum computing, you hear about it and just, magnitudes above kind of where existing computing is. That's my takeaway.
Right.
And you just got this question of applications, I guess. And I would think the applications would just be endless, but these people are smart.
Yeah. It's still early stages for this company, so it'll be interesting to see what they, where they find that market.
Absolutely. All right. We're going to wrap up soon here at this market. We're at 4:25 Wall Street time, and we had a good close to this market, up 1% on the S&P 500. All right, don't miss the Boston Pops Fireworks Spectacular this Monday, July 4th on Bloomberg Radio beginning at 5 p.m. Conductor Keith Lockhart leads an all-star performance with special guest Chaka Khan. It's the Boston Pops Fireworks Spectacular this Monday, July 4th at 5 on Bloomberg Radio.
The business world's most prominent voices join David Weston for Bloomberg Wall Street Week.
This week, Gillian Tett and Peter Krause take us through the week in the market. Deborah Lair of Edelman Global Advisory on China 25 years after the handover of Hong Kong. And former U.S. Treasury Secretary Larry Summers on the Fed's efforts at fighting inflation.
Bloomberg Wall Street Week with David Weston tonight at 6 on Bloomberg 1130, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com.
Look beyond the ordinary with Global ETF. From cell phones to smartwatches, our world is more connected than ever. Even average household items like toasters now have the capability to connect to the internet. As innovation and investment in digital infrastructure continues to increase, technologies like 5G and the Internet of Things are growing exponentially. Visit globalxetf.com to discover these themes and more for your portfolio.
Bloomberg has reinvented one of the most iconic brands in financial news.
Our economy has been through a shock it's never seen before.
Bloomberg Wall Street Week with David Weston.
We turn to our special contributor, Larry Summers.
The week's essential market news and the most influential guest,
Brian Moynihan, Chairman and CEO of Bank of America.
Bloomberg Wall Street Week, Friday nights at 6 Eastern on Bloomberg Television, the Bloomberg Business app, and Bloomberg.com.
Small businesses desperately need help.
Check your local listings for the cable or satellite provider in your area.
Dave Gockel is chairman and CEO of Langen, an international engineering and environmental consulting firm. He's also a strong advocate for funding research partnerships between universities and industry. Dave is a graduate and board member of NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology.
How do we evolve as a society? We solve problems. And who are those problem solvers? They're the engineers and the scientists. So the demand for STEM education as we go forward is just tremendous. I think that NJIT has always done a wonderful job of bringing leaders in the industry to fund research that goes on and staying connected with the real world and making sure that the students get that exposure. NJIT has really expanded its programs to cover a much broader landscape while still delivering quality.
NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology. Learn more at njit.edu.
Jenny Liss, Jewish communal leader and philanthropist, talks about why she chose the Jewish Communal Fund for her family's charitable giving.
For a lot of people, it would be the convenience factor. I don't have to track anything.
If charitable giving is an important part of your life, JCF can help you organize your philanthropy with our donor-advised fund. A fund can be established with a minimum tax-deductible contribution of $5,000. Make grants to your favorite charities, and JCF handles all the administration and reporting.
At the year end, our board awards community grants, from fees and endowment income to UJ's annual campaign. We also make gifts to specific organizations, the elderly, Holocaust survivors, the hungry. The fact that we come together as a community at the end of the year to build community, that's what makes us different.
Get better at giving back. Visit jcfny.org or call 212-752-8277. JCF, we have a gift for giving.
Hybrid work is here. It's there. It's everywhere. But for someone to be able to work from here, there has to be someone here, making sure everything is safe, secure, consistent. So log in from here, or here, assured that someone is here, ready to fix anything, anytime, anywhere, even here. That's because nobody, and I mean nobody, makes hybrid work better. Cisco, the bridge to possible.
It is 4:29 on Wall Street. Time for drive time traffic. Adam Walski, how things looking out on the BQE?
Not a good ride there, Paul. Southbound BQE around Metropolitan Avenue. It's an accident that has at least one lane closed. You're also slow southbound over the Kosciuszko from earlier police activity, and northbound on the Whitestone Expressway at Linden Place. That's just after City Field. An accident has been cleared, but you're very slow from there all the way up and onto the Whitestone Bridge. Delays at the Queensbound Frosneck and Whitestone bridges. And if you're trying to get out of Manhattan, it's about 45 minutes apiece, leaving the city at both the Lincoln and the Holland tunnels. All the approaches very slow to the Jersey-bound George Washington Bridge, and this doesn't help. You have an accident on the FDR Drive, southbound just after the Triborough. That's causing rubbernecking delays northbound, beginning in the 30s all the way up. And on Long Island, eastbound LIE at Northern States, both jammed out of Queens all the way out to Glen Cove Road. And the Bloomberg 1130 three-day forecast. Chance of an evening shower or a thunderstorm tonight with a low 70 to 75. We can also get a couple of late-night showers and thunderstorms. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow with a high 85 to 90. And on Sunday, partly sunny, but still can't rule out a shower or a thunderstorm in the afternoon. High 80 to 85. With the best ride in and out of the city, I'm Adam Walski, Bloomberg 1130.
Broadcasting live from the Bloomberg Interactive Brokers Studio in New York. Bloomberg 1130 to Washington, D.C. Bloomberg 99.1 to Boston. Bloomberg 106.1 to San Francisco. Bloomberg 960 to the country. Sirius XM.